Microsoft Clarity. What is it and how do we use it? My name is Maestro Stevens, the Fresh Prince of WordPress. Welcome to the Iconic Templates YouTube channel. This channel is dedicated to helping you build a WordPress ecosystem through useful tips, tutorials, and resources. Well, before we go into the what is it aspect of it, let's talk about the need for it. There is a term that I'm going to use my handy dandy tool, ChatGPT, to help give us a definition about what it means. This term is called user experience. So let's ask ChatGPT, what is user experience for a website in a short summary? All right, there we go. And let's see what ChatGPT has to say about this. User experience refers to the overall experience of a person using a product such as a website, including how easy it is to use, how enjoyable it is, and how well it meets their needs. It encompasses all aspects of a person's interaction with the product, including the design, layout, content, functionality, and performance. Good UX design is essential for creating a positive and satisfying experience for website users. It can lead to increased engagement, loyalty, and conversions. In short, UX is the process of creating products that provide meaningful and relevant experiences to users. So Microsoft Clarity is a tool that helps you optimize the user experience on your website. And that is the reason why they have a tagline, see what your users want. Let's scroll down a little bit and see what kind of features come with a tool like Microsoft Clarity. Microsoft Clarity gives you a very specific feature set. They do a few things and they do them well instead of trying to do a whole bunch of things mediocre. Instant heat maps is one of those things that Microsoft Clarity does well. This tool will give you heat maps for your website so you can see user engagement. This tool will give you session recordings so you can see actual captured data of individual users on your website. It will also give you powerful insights that typically you won't get out of a tool like Google Analytics. Don't think of this as an alternative to Google Analytics. Think of this as an assistant to Google Analytics. You want to have your primary analytics tool, and then you want to have your user behavior analytics tool. That way you're actually being able to see more information that Google Analytics does not capture. Again, Microsoft Clarity is a complement to Google Analytics. And there's a reason why they have an integration between the two, because they complement each other. Now, let's jump into a live demo or the back end of a Microsoft Clarity account. And you can easily do so by going to clarity.microsoft.com and then clicking See Live Demo. And I love this. I love when apps and software give me a live demo before I actually set it up on my website. So let's first talk about a few key factors or key points on this dashboard when it comes to metrics and insights that I want you to focus on. And these ones typically do not come with Google Analytics. So that's why I'm pointing these out. The first one is going to be dead clicks.
Dead man walking.
Dead clicks is when a user clicked or tapped on a page with no effect. So dead clicks can show you what users are thinking is clickable but isn't. Let me show you what that may look like in a real world environment, but we're going to do so using our imagination. So I've whipped up a dummy site, and I've done this that way I can show you and demonstrate what one of these metrics or terms means while we're looking at an actual site. For a dead click, let's just say I'm a user and let's say I'm on your website and I go to your features section. A dead click would be me clicking on this right here, this title or this feature, and nothing happening because I'm thinking that this is something that is clickable. That would be indicated as a dead click in Microsoft Clarity. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, I click on something that I think is clickable, but it's not. It leads to nothing. Maybe think about making it clickable or creating a new design layout for that section that feels less clickable. Those are two options that you can start with when it comes to seeing an increased amount of dead clicks on your website. Now let's touch on rage clicks.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Which are very similar to dead clicks. So I say that they piggyback off of dead clicks, but they go into a little bit more. And what that means is it's when a user rapidly clicked or tapped into the same small area. Rage clicks can show you what users are believing something should be clickable because of multiple click attempts. A great example of a rage click would be if I scroll down to the bottom of the page and I scroll to a button. Buttons typically are what we would think would be clickable. A button is on a page, I go to click this button and nothing happens. Okay, I go to click the button again and nothing happens. Okay, I mean, it is a button and I'm certain that this should be linked to something. I'm gonna click it one more time. Nothing happens. Now I'm gonna keep trying to click it and that's where the whole rage part comes in. So as long as you get multiple click attempts on one area of the website, that's what's gonna be considered a rage click. This could be similar to dead clicks where it's not so obvious something isn't clickable, or it could be obvious something should be clickable, but it's missing a link. That's when you're thinking of rage clicks and how to optimize based on the amount of rage clicks you have in your analytics. The next metric that we're going to look at, or some would say KPI, would be quickbacks.
Go ahead and shoot. I'll be back. I always come back.
Quickbacks are when a user navigated to a page and then quickly returned to the previous one. So another way to say that is quickbacks can show you that an external source from a link wasn't useful because the user returned to the previous page. Let's just say, for example, I'm on this page and I'm in the header section. So imagine somebody being in the header section of your website. They click on the button that you have in your header section. So this one is Contact Us. And then it goes to that page. A quick back would be me looking at the information on the page and deciding that this information isn't for me for whatever reason. So I just go back to the previous page.
I'm back.
That is considered a quick back. Quick back could be due to poor navigation, bad internal linking structure, or a bad referral page. This could also happen based on the content of the new page not being helpful, relevant, or interesting. So I go to another page and it's not helpful, it's not relevant, it isn't interesting for me as the user. That is considered a quick back if I go back to the previous page. And that's how Microsoft Clarity measures that. It measures that in the way of calling it a quick back. And the last one we're going to look at on our dashboard based on these insights is excessive scrolling. So you see here in the demo, there is no excessive scrolling. Excessive scrolling would be the equivalent of me going to a page and going up and down that page. So I'm going up and down this page, up and down. Excessive scrolling can show you that users may not be able to find what they're looking for easily. And this could be due to you having too much content on the page or unclear, confusing content. Let's bring back our example of the quick back. So I click this button, I go to the next page, and I scroll. So you can combine excessive scrolling with quick back as a potential reason why the quick back happened, or indicator that a quick back is going to happen by there being so much excessive scrolling on a page. Then a person saying or thinking, this is not for me, and they go back to the previous page. That is an example of excessive scrolling in combination of quick backs. The last one on here, and I know I said the last one was the last one, but this one I wasn't going to go over. I'm going to go over it anyway. And this is time spent on the page. This is very important because you're able to see the active time spent on a page in comparison to the inactive time. This is a great average time spent in a session. Active time is when a user's attention was on your site. Inactive time is when your site was hidden behind other tabs or windows. So you're able to optimize your pages based on the activity on the page, right? Based on a user being active and engaged with the page. This is a good metric to look at. The rest of these, Google Analytics pretty much covers, so that's why I said there is some overlap. But when it comes to the ones that I just went over, those are specific ones, specific metrics that are unique towards Microsoft Clarity. Now let's move over to recordings. Recordings are really great for individual use cases when you're able to see individual users and their experience. Because when we're looking at the dashboard, we're looking at a combination, right? A collective of information. And although we can see this information in a collective way, even in recordings, is still specifically for individual user experiences. And this is a gold mine of invaluable information. So user recordings are able to help you find user issues with clicks or links. All you have to do is click on any one of these cards here, and these are recordings. So you just click on one of these, and it will automatically play. You're able to see where a person is clicking, and you can also hear them click as well too. This is really great for looking at issues with clicks and links. Let's connect this back to our other metrics. This is where we are able to get our dead clicks and our rage clicks from. And this is the reason why it says recordings down here. Go to recordings with dead clicks. Go to recordings with rage clicks. I love that about Clarity is that it will link you directly to the source. Make sure that you connect those dots in your head. You are able to individually see the user experience, to see their session here in the recordings, but you can connect that to the amount of dead clicks and the amount of rage clicks that a person is experiencing, or that your overall user base is experiencing. You're able to optimize the page based on where users are having the most difficulty clicking the page. And what I like about this card here is it shows you some information, like where they came from and where they're exiting. So their entry and their exit, it tells you how many pages they have navigated, the session duration, how many clicks, and then whether they're on a PC or mobile or tablet, and what operating system they're using, Mac OS, Windows, Android, and then their country. So it gives you some information on the user, but it does it in an anonymous way. So you don't have too much like their name, their email, their passwords, but you do have some information, some general fundamental information on who this person is. Let me click on another card here, a recording. And you'll notice too, sometimes it'll be a little funky. It'll do some weird things, but usually it works out. It works itself out. Sometimes you'll just get a blank screen, and there's many reasons for that, but that's not often that it happens. You're able to really see this recording. I mean, this is just great. Just being able to see what somebody is doing on my website is invaluable information. And it's invaluable because I don't have to guess. I get to know. This is giving me the know-how and not the guess how. I also don't have to sign up for other programs or apps or software where I have to do all this extra stuff and I have to go through these hoops and hassles to get a person to review my website or to see a person navigate my website. You get that for free out of Clarity. User recordings are also useful to review user issues when they're scrolling or navigating the website. This is really great when it comes to people more specifically on mobile, but sometimes you do see scrolls on desktop. Obviously, a person is going to scroll on a desktop, but the reason why I'm saying particularly on mobile, it's even more valuable because everybody does not scroll past this header section, and I'll show you that here in a second. This person is scrolling, but see how they only went so far down. Everybody doesn't scroll all the way down your page. Typically when they're on mobile, because it's a more condensed area, real estate of site of what you can see, you want to look at the mobile version because people are going to scroll on mobile more than they are on desktop. Now, in this particular situation, I'm not going to dive deep into how to use filters, but I do want to touch on it real quick because I want to get directly to being able to see mobile devices. So I'm going to select mobile here. If I wanted to, I can change the time frame to the last 30 days, and I'm going to click apply. And this helps you filter down the data or information. So let's look at a recording for mobile. And this is good that this is happening because, as I mentioned, sometimes the recordings don't show up. So don't think that it's perfect, especially since it's free. But just get used to the fact that 80% of the time you will be able to see the recordings, 85% maybe, and then 10 to 15% of the time it's going to be blank. As you saw, a person just scrolled, so I was able to see some scroll information. Speaking of instant heat maps, see how far they scroll. But you're able to see their scrolling patterns directly in the recordings. With this, you're able to optimize the page and update the content, the layout, or even the order of the sections. Maybe you need to reorder the sections, or you need to look at the header, the footer, or the filters. So how a person is navigating what they're clicking on as far as their pathway. Maybe you need to optimize based on what you actually see. That's why this is such good insights to be able to make decisions on that you wouldn't have otherwise when it came to Google Analytics or having no analytical tool on your website at all. Then when it comes to desktop, and particularly with desktop, because desktop, you're using a mouse, you're able to see your user's cursor path. Where are they moving their mouse on desktop? And you can literally see the trail coming after the mouse as well too. I really like that about this visualization. They do a really good job showing us what a person is doing. Now you can see there is no mouse on this one. Is there a mouse in the house? No, there's not. I see no cursor. So let's go to another one here and see if we see a cursor. Nope, user left the site. All right, we see a cursor here. You can see the little trail. You see that their mouse is stopped. Okay, their mouse moved down. Where's it going to go next? Where's it going to go? I don't know. Who knows? Okay, there it goes. It's moving. It's moving, y'all. So we see the mouse moving and we hear the clicks as well, too. There's no clicks on this particular recording, but there were clicks on others. That is a great thing that you get with recordings. Again, you don't get that with Google Analytics. Let's move to heat maps. When it comes to heat maps, this is a real good way for you to see engagement on your page based on all the collected data. Let's go to Microsoft Clarity's homepage here, and let's look at a heat map on this homepage. Now, what I like about heat maps is they help you identify user patterns and trends. You're able to find what areas got the highest and the lowest engagement and why that happened. That's very important. Next, I would say heat maps are great because you're able to view where users are clicking. Right now, you can see that we see some hot areas here, and these are also showcases of where users are clicking. And then we see some cooler areas here. Now, users are clicking in these areas as well, but they're just not clicking as much. This is really great for those who want to optimize for conversions, conversion optimization, because links matter.
Message.
And with that being said, when you are able to see where people are clicking, so let's connect this back to our dead clicks and our rage clicks. We know that when we have a click in an area that is not linkable, it's not meant to be clicked, that is a dead click. When we have multiple clicks in an area that people think should be a link, it typically means it's a rage click. Rage clicks and dead clicks give you indication on the user experience based on what a person is trying to do. And then we pair that with our heat map and looking at our clicks, right? On our heat map, we're able to see the areas that are getting the most clicks. So we can know how many times, how often things are being clicked. Now we're able to see the area of where is being clicked. That is powerful insights. And no pun intended, but it is a very powerful insights on being able to make adjustments and improvements on your website with. What I also love about heat maps is being able to see the scroll depth or scroll distance of your users. As I mentioned before, I said a lot of people don't scroll past the header area, which is true, or they call that above the fold. And you're able to see on your website how far people are scrolling beyond the above the fold area, beyond the header area. On Microsoft Clarity's site, they have a really good percentage of scroll depth. You don't see a lot of blue on here. You got 74% people have reached this point. Whereas on other websites, you will see often it'll drop off and become blue, green to blue, more before you even get to the halfway marker of the website. That lets you know there could be some room for improvement. I can make some changes based on the fact that people aren't scrolling down. Why aren't people scrolling further? Are we not leading them down the path that makes most logical sense for the typical user, for our typical user? And then you have this area here, which is a combination of the clicks and kind of the scroll, where you're able to see what areas people are clicking the most. So navigation is usually going to have the most clicks. It's going to have the most because it's the navigation. It's the header, it's at the top, and it's where we actually put our menu items in. Then you're going to see other areas or other sections on your website that have clicks as well too. Like these sections right here. Are these meant to be clicked? If not, this could be a dead click or a rage click scenario. But we know they are getting clicked. This is taking up some real estate here. We also know that this area gets clicked a lot. These are tabs that open up more information or that let you see more information. And so this is a good area that lets you know this is supposed to be clicked. This is getting clicks too, most likely on this link right here, but it's not even getting a percentage of a click. Then we have our frequently asked questions sections, which is getting about 4% of the clicks on this page. And you can see so forth and so on how this works when it comes to the area of clicks. And usually the footer area or the bottom of the page gets the least amount of clicks, and that's how it works. And that is Microsoft Clarity in a nutshell. As I just showed you heat maps, I showed you recordings, and I showed you the dashboard. And we even got a little bit into the filters.
It's filter fish. Filter fish. You want some of my filter fish?
So I'll touch on the filters real quick. Applying filters can help you segment users and the data for more detailed insights. You're able to get better insights based on creating user segments from narrowing down the data to specific requirements. If I was here in the filters section here, I'm able to say, I want to see information in the last 30 days, or say I want to see it in a year or in the last quarter. I'm also able to filter down the device type, the browser type. So I can say Firefox users, the operating system, the country. So people from a certain country, let's say Brazil. And that is just the user info. If I wanted to drill down to user actions, if I only want to see the dead clicks or the rage clicks, I can do so as well. And then it gets even more specific to the requirements that you want to filter down based on your user types. And then you can create segments from this. So it helps you narrow down certain groups of users, and you can just look at and focus on that information coming from them. That's filters pretty much in a nutshell. And I could just clear all my filters right here. That's Microsoft Clarity. Hopefully you got a lot of valuable information out of this video. If you have, please like and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to set up Microsoft Clarity on your website. If you need help doing so, I actually have a tutorial on YouTube setting up GA4, Google Search Console, and Microsoft Clarity to get the best out of all three worlds. Please subscribe to our channel and turn on your notifications so you get notified when we release new videos.